that was so freaking crazy.
Shut up! We're on air.
Hey, welcome back to Teens in Our 20s, bitches. It's me, Taylor. I'm here with Erin, and we have a Halloweekend special for you.
So, we're not doing typically what we said we were going to do with this podcast. So this is kind of just like a big story time for you of our Halloweekend. Recap our Halloweekend.
This is how to do Halloweekend in your 20s. After you've graduated college and actually enjoy your Halloweekend and not get plastered and end up on my front porch holding a ceramic dog.
I can cut that out. I just had to plug my ears from what she just said. And my jaw just dropped. Oh my god. Okay. So to start out, we had decided we wanted to go to a house party. We haven't been to a house party even I guess since we started going to the bars, we haven't been to a house party. And it was a letdown. A very, very big letdown. So let's set the scene for you. Taylor's boyfriend has a bunch of friends, so they're throwing a Halloween party. We're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so cool, so fetch, so it's going to be so great. And we decided to get all dressed up, It was great until we got there.
Okay, so as background story, we'll start with the gas station, okay? So, my Uncle Randy was in town. Hi, Uncle Randy. He listens to our podcast. We love you. So, my Uncle Randy was in town for my mom's birthday. So I was over at my mom's house until probably like 9. And this party started at 9:30. Okay, so let's just start there. Erin was ready as 9. She went as Carly Bobby from Ricky Bobby, the movie. I had never seen it, but she looked fire as hell. So I got home probably about 9:30 when this party was starting. And I turned into Violet from Willy Wonka, A$AP Rocky. And if you want to see, find my TikTok, find my Instagram, find Erin's Instagram. Because we did look fire. We looked great.
This was probably the best year of my costumes. Like, even in college, I, never had time. So I was always studying. So they were always, not very good costumes.
I was comfortable as fuck. And I normally, by the end of the night, get so uncomfortable because I'm just, I always, go all out, and I'm just not comfortable enough with myself to go all out, and then I get annoyed by the end of the night. Anyway, back to where we were. So, we get ready. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be Violet, I need Hubba Bubba. So, we go to the gas station to get Hubba Bubba and a Buzzball. Our history with Buzzballs are never good. We had a Buzzball summer in 2022. That's what we should call it. Our Buzzball summer.
Oh, yeah.
Our Buzzball summer.
It was not a good summer. I was sick 24/7.
All the time. Which we can get into our Buzzball summer eventually. So we go to the gas station. And we walk in and I see this guy. And he's in a NASCAR jacket. And I'm like, oh, Erin, that guy's wearing a jacket like yours. And she's like, oh, cool. We get into the gas station. We go down the gum aisle, and there's this guy in the exact same costume she's wearing, but the man version. And he looks at her, and he's like, bro! He's like, bro, we gotta take a picture. Me and this girl, we're wearing the same costume.
If you guys know me, I felt so awkward. I was like, okay. I was like, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. I was just blacked out, I think, for a second on social interaction. And I was like, oh my God, that was not fun at all.
And I was focused on my gum. I was like, I need blue gum, but they only had pink and red. And I turn around and Erin's taking a picture with this guy. And so I take a picture from the back of her.
I cannot say no to people. It is an issue. I cannot say no. So I was like, oh my God, yeah, random guy in the gas station.
And this probably wasn't the group of people that we should have been taking a picture with in the gas station.
Yeah.
These people were definitely on some serious type of drugs.
Yeah.
And Erin's like, peace sign.
I did.
that ends. We grab a buzzball. We grab my gum. We head to this party. It's like 11 o'clock at this point.
Also, set the scene for you. We live in the country, or at least I do. Like, growing up, we both kind of lived in the country, okay? And this party was at a random house in the country, in a barn, in their garage. In their garage outside. Some of the best parties come from that, but, like, there was about, how many people would you say was there?
10.
Like 10 people. All just standing there. We walk in, and, like, all heads turn to us, and we were like, oh, man.
Like, okay, so this will also set the scene. Aaron's in tight leather pants that tie up on the side, a crop top, and this really cool jacket. I'm in this cropped sweat set with my nose purple. Like, we look hot as fuck. We walk into this barn.
We're all in, like, a sweatpants.
This guy had a pillow shoved up his shirt, had a beard taped on him, and he was supposed to be Fat Thor or something.
It was great. It was executed great, but I thought he was a werewolf for the longest time. Like, 'cause I kept staring at him, and I was like, I don't want him to think I'm rude, but, like, I'm trying to figure out who he is. And then he asked one of his friends to get us hammer, and I was like, oh, my God, he is Thor. I, like, thought it was the best thing in the world.
And the only other person really in a costume was this couple. That's not a couple. They're a situationship. And they were wearing Stitch and Angel onesies, which if you don't know who Angel is, Angel's the pink Stitch. And so we walk in, and they're playing beer pong. And that's all there is to this garage. Everybody
We walk in and sat in the corner. Like, stood in the corner.
sat in the motherfucking corner.
Nobody spoke to us.
Nobody spoke. Nobody introduced themselves. We didn't know anyone.
And I feel like they were throwing, like, little judgmental, like, glances our way. Like, who are these girls? But, like, I would have been nice if you would have introduced yourself.
Right. So we go because Aaron has this friend who's super nice, who's super lovely. We'll call him Jack. Jack wanted to meet Aaron. We really kind of just wanted to go to a fucking party for Halloween.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was going to be lame as fuck.
I didn't come with the intention of getting set up either. I just wanted to go
Yeah,
to have fun. Like, I think me and Tay just wanted to go and have a great time. And opposite of that. It was not fun. Oh, okay. Yeah. So glad we got the bus balls, because when we walked in, like, it was like 20 minutes after we walked in, he was like, oh, we got some jungle juice in there. Do you guys want some? We go in there, and, like, he's like, try it. He has, like, a bowl of ice to the side. That's your first red flag.
No.
He had, like, ice to the side, and he was like, yeah, go ahead and put your ice in there. And Tay takes a drink first, and she looks at me, and I could just tell by her face that it wasn't good.
I'd like to preface that I'm very picky with my alcoholic beverages. I want it to taste somewhat good, okay? But this is how this man introduces the jungle juice to us. He goes, it's going to taste like a strawberry Pop-Tart. I'm sorry, but I don't want jungle juice that tastes like a strawberry fucking Pop-Tart.
And it did not taste like a strawberry Pop-Tart. This man had put moonshine in his jungle juice. Moonshine! I was baffled. I picked it. Do you remember me doing that? I literally picked it up. I said, is this moonshine? Are you joking me right now? Is this moonshine? He said, yeah, it just dabbled in there a little bit. I said, Miss Guy, this whole thing is gone. Dabbled in there a little bit.
I don't know what else was in it too. He was like, yeah, it was just kind of the stuff that we found in our fridge. And like, when you make jungle juice, there's a way to make jungle juice good.
Well, yeah, and you can put random alcohol in it, and it can still taste good. Yeah, I don't think there was any juice in there. He put, like, the strawberry stuff in there, but it was only, like, half of it, and the rest of it was just alcohol. And I was like, I cannot even drink it. It was awful. And, like, I've had my fair share of jungle juice, and that wasn't it. It was moonshine. That's what it was. Straight moonshine. And so we walked back out to the garage. I don't even know. I keep calling it a barn because that's what it felt like to me. And we walked back out there, and me and her immediately set our drinks down. We're like, we're not drinking that. It's not happening. Yeah, like we both like look at each other and we were like, mm-mm. Like we sat it down and then they continued to play beer pong. We continued to stand in the corner like just lost souls in the corner. And then I think it was the one that was dressed as a football player.
Yeah.
Yeah, his girlfriend, or was it him?
It was him.
Dropped a whole bottle of vodka. Like,
whole bottle.
It shattered. And they had a dog out there that I literally wanted to take home. But I was like, that poor dog, he's going to drink it. Like, it was all over the floor. And then Fat Thor comes up. And he tries to, like, shovel it with, like, a snow shovel and, like, you know, those brooms that the janitor... Yeah, the big fat-ass brooms that janitors sweep the floor with at schools. That's literally what he had. And I was like, I need to get out of here.
That was the straw. She looks at me and she goes, text your sister. And so I text my sister and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, Uncle Randy went to bed. I'm going to bed. And I was like, I need you to come save me. She was like, no, you're good. And so then Aaron's like, well, you got to text Lexi. And so we text our friend Lexi and we're like, bro, where are you? Like, how far away are you? Like, here's the Addy. Like, come pick us the fuck up. So thanks to Lexi, she comes through. She comes, picks us up. We don't even say goodbye to anyone. So before we left, we talked to my boyfriend and what did we call him? Jack? We talked to my boyfriend and Jack and we're like, hey, do you want to meet us at the bar? Because, like, we're about to blow this popsicle stand. Because this was a popsicle stand. So they're like, yeah, sure, let us say our goodbyes. You guys go ahead. So we bounce. Don't say goodbye to anyone. So we go. We said bye. We said peace out. So we go to the bar. Brothers had a cover, so we went to this small little bar.
Shout out the Chug.
Shout out the Chug. We love you. A absolute hole in the mother wall. Like, it's...
If you're ever in Muncie, Indiana, go to the Chug.
Go to the
It's
Chug.
a different experience.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it is.
And it's our lifestyle. That's so bad. So we go to the Chug, packed. It's like literally the Saturday of Halloweekend. So we're like, okay, Aaron's like, I have to piss. And I'm like, well, if you...
And I had these, okay, to preference, she already said that I had these red leather pants on. They didn't have a zipper. They were lace, like all the way laced up. And it took me about 20 minutes in the bathroom to unlace, to pee, and then to relace my pants.
Which, might I add, the bathrooms at the Chug are one, dirty, which we have to tell the story of my graduation night one day because that's iconic. That's the best story I have. Anyway, they're dirty.
Say it in this episode if we haven't.
Yeah, we'll talk about my graduation night at the Chug because it's iconic. But let me go back to where we were. So the bathrooms are dirty as crap, and they have about half of a door. You can see under it, and you can see over it. You can see
you.
Everybody watches you on the toilet is what happens at the Chug. So we wait in line before we go pee to get a drink. I get a drink, Aaron gets a drink, and we take shots. And then we go to the bathroom. We decided to go in the same stall, which was a bad idea because Aaron's lace-up pants took up the whole fucking room of the stall. I had no room to do anything. I thought I was going to get an STD from this toilet because the toilet seat was coming off, and I could feel on my butt, you know, the cold part of the actual toilet. I could feel it, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get an STD. I couldn't maneuver myself in the right way because you and your lace-up pants were in the way.
Listen, follow my Instagram, though. They were awesome.
They were sick pants. They really were sick pants. So then we go out, and I think this happened after we left the bathroom. So we're standing there talking to Lexi's roommate, and it was us. And this guy comes up. This man's breath stank. I wasn't even really close to him, and I could smell him coming. This man's breath stank. So he comes up and he taps Aaron on the shoulder. And I'm going to say my point of view, then I want you to say your point of view because I don't know what's going through your head. And so when men tap on Aaron's shoulder, I go like helicopter mom mode. So I like whip around and I'm like, what is, it does happen quite frequently. So I was like, what does this man want? This man's probably mid-30s, short, stubble, wrinkles, stubble and wrinkles. And he goes, hey, how are you? And Aaron's like, hey.
What?
No, I think he said, what? And he goes, it's Aaron, right? And she just starts laughing.
How? I was like baffled. I was like, how do you know my name?
Literally.
I'd never seen this man before in my life. And I was like, that's literally what came out of my mouth. I laughed in like awkward like silence for a minute. And I was like, how do you know my name? And I don't think he said anything after that.
No.
It was weird. And I was like,
he said, you said, how do you know my name? And you started laughing, and he goes, it's Aaron, right? And you were like, yeah, but like, I don't know you. And he goes, it's been so long. And me and Aaron look at each other and just start laughing. And then he's like trying to touch her arm. And I said, come on, Rainy. And I just like grabbed her and pulled her to the dance floor. And then guy was like, see ya, have a good night. And we were like, we looked at each other once we got to the dance floor, and we were like, who the fuck was that?
I think I was in shock. I was like, why did he know my name? Why did he touch my arm? Like, I was like, this is not fun for me.
It was so weird.
And yeah, I don't even know. I think I was just in shock. I was laughing. I was like, how? Like, he knew my name, and he was like, it's been so long. And I'm like, how long has it been for you? Because this is the first interaction I've had with you. But he knew my name. So I was like, do I know you? Yeah, I was like, do I know you through somebody? And he just didn't respond to me after that. So I was like, okay, let's go. But interactions, not like that, happen a lot, but like things like that happen to me all the time, and I don't know why. Yeah, it's always me.
So then after this incident, we were kind of just like, okay. So we go to the dance floor because Aaron's like, all night. I hear this out of your mouth at least 500 times this night. I just want to dance. And I'm like, okay. She's like, I just want to go to the dance floor, Taylor. And I'm like, okay, but like, you don't want to go say hi to the people we know. Like, Haven's here, Lexi's here, like, Liv's over there. Like, and she's like, no. I just want to go dance. And I'm like, okay. So we get to the dance floor and we start dancing.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a blast. We start dancing. So I turn, and what song was it when the guy came up with the butt? What? It was Fergalicious, okay? We were getting our Fergalicious on, right?
I feel like there was too many interactions for me to remember.
This one, so I noticed this guy earlier because he was in a hospital gown and he had a plastic butt. He had a plastic butt on the outside of his hospital gown. And so I'm sitting here, me and Aaron are getting our Fergalicious on. Like, we are Fergalicious it up. And this guy makes eye contact with me. So I'm like, okay. And so I start singing Fergalicious to him. And then he starts singing Fergalicious back. And we're just Fergalicious it up with this guy. And then he comes up to you. What did he say? Dude, it was such an awkward interaction.
I don't know, but I was like, so, I don't know, weirded out kind of by it. Yeah, he took that's all I remember from it. He took the glasses off my face and he put them on and he was singing Fergie to me. And I was like, well, he was significantly taller than me. He was pretty tall. And I was looking up and I was like, can I have my glasses back? Like, I was just so, like, shocked that it happened. Because a bunch of those interactions happened all night. And I just don't know what happened.
I remember what he said. So he goes, because I remember getting so violently angry at this man. He goes, are you a NASCAR driver? To Aaron. And I said, no, you got it wrong. And he had like pre-wrap on his head to like make it look like he just got brain surgery or something. And he removes his pre-wrap and gets his ear closer to me, which, like, when you go to the bar, you normally talk into people's ear. No, this man was doing this out of spite. And he puts his ear closer to me, and I said, you got it all wrong. And he said, I don't do things wrong. What are you saying? And I said, no, you got the wrong girl. I don't have time for this. And he was just laughing at me, and I said, give her glasses back. And she's like, Fergalicious definition. And I'm like, give her glasses back. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I just start to get violently angry. And Aaron's like, Fergalicious definition.
I don't know.
Because you couldn't hear what was happening.
I couldn't. For one, I didn't hear what was happening. And for two, and like I said, interactions like that happen all the time to me.
Blackout.
And I just, not off alcohol. Like, just
No.
off my brain. I just,
Too uncomfortable.
yeah, I get uncomfortable in situations like that. Like, I don't know. I just get really uncomfortable. Like, the slightest, like, I don't know. And I can tell when someone, like, is looking at me across the bar and, like, are gonna come and talk to me. And I'm like, it makes me uncomfortable. Like, don't start a conversation with me in a bar. I don't like it. It feels predatory. I just don't like it. I'm here to have fun with my friends. And I can just always feel it. Like, I can feel their look.
So weird at the end.
I feel like they're always weird.
No, but
Anyone who introduced yourself at college girls, listen up. If the man introduced himself to you at a bar, run the other direction. Like, it never works out. Never works out. I have a lot of stories with that too. It never works out. Don't ever think that he's like, you're gonna marry him or you're gonna have a great relationship with him, because there's a reason he's coming up to you in a bar. Yeah, that's why he's there. That's his whole goal. So, and I think that's why it makes me uncomfortable in the bar, because it happens so frequently that I just need you to leave me alone.
Right.
But after that, I think we just kind of left.
Well, okay, this is what happened. So Jack, the guy from earlier, comes up behind us because he's like, what is this guy? Like, no. And this guy, I was just like getting mad at him. And when I am a little bit tipsy, I'm not shy. And I will talk to anyone, and I will like sing to anyone, and I will cuss out anyone. There was a night. Were you there when I cussed out the crackhead? No, because you were talking to that one guy I didn't like. But there was one night where I got so violently mad at this crackhead that he probably could have killed me, and I was cussing him out. Anyway, so I was so mad at this guy because he was just being annoying. Like, it's okay if you don't get the costume, but then he was just like egging me on, and if you're gonna egg me on, man, I'm gonna fuck you up, okay? So Jack comes up and is like, hey, let's go. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. So me and Jack pull Aaron, and we're like, we're going. And so we go to the back of the bar. There's back bar. And we go to the back of the bar, and Aaron's like, oh my God, that guy's a Ravenclaw. I'm like,
Okay, wait. So, if you know me, I love Harry Potter. Like, I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. And that was, like, my shining moment right there. Because I was like, that's my house.
you were like, this is my Mia.
This is my man. No. I just thought his costume was awesome. And I literally wanted to tell him because I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. All things Harry Potter. I could probably quote you the book and the movie frontwards and backwards.
Literally. So we leave the bar later. Nothing really happened after that. We leave the bar, and we're like, yo, let's go to McDonald's. Well, I want a Taco Bell, and Aaron was like, nah, I want a McChicken. And I was like, okay, let's go get a McChicken, because she always wants McChicken. So we try to pull up to the McDonald's. This McDonald's is pretty close to my house, and the street to the McDonald's copped out. Like 5 cops, cars, like leaving.
The cops had busted a party.
Which, let me tell you, okay? Because I figured this out a couple days later, and I think you're going to find this interesting. My foot's asleep, so I might start giggling. Early in the week, we hear the cop cars down there by the party, and we're like, okay. So we get on the police scanner, and they're like, yeah, busted this party. And because a kid showed up to this party earlier in the week with a shotgun. So what this is it's an abandoned, I think it used to be a house. And it's an abandoned house. Nobody lives there. It's for sale. So people really aren't supposed to be partying on this thing. Aaron's jaw's dropped right now, if you can't see. So parties get busted there all the time.
Listen, though. The people we met in the gas station were there.
I forgot!
That's why I'm so shocked right now. Because I took a picture with him, dude. He could have shot me.
Literally, I forgot. So we're going to the McDonald's, and I'm like, let me roll my window down, and everybody's like, nah, because you're going to start yelling at people. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So I rolled my window down, and there's this girl in the car, and I said, what's going on? She's like, they just busted up the party. And like, this is a party that me and Aaron definitely aren't about to attend. And this girl is like, you got to turn around. I am talking to this girl with a purple nose. And she's like, nah, you can't go to the party, it's shut down. And I'm like, Miss Girl, I'm not about to go to this party. We look to the other side of the street and we see the gas station guy. Aaron's like, no way, no way.
I said, roll down the window, let me talk to him.
And everybody's like, no, 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 no. So the significance of this is we found out there was like a kid showed up with a freaking shotgun.
Kid sketchy.
Kid sketchy. So we're like, okay, we can't get to the McDonald's. Like, it's not going to happen. And Erin had to pee so bad. So we're like, yeah. She didn't pee the whole time we were at the Chug, other than when we first got there.
I have like literally the smallest bladder.
This girl always has to pee, and it's actually an inconvenience most of the time. So we're like, you know what? We're going to go home. Because, no. So we come back, we go home, and that's the end of Halloween.
We very disappointed in this Halloween, I think. Halloweekend.
More stories than we thought.
We
usually remember the story.
yeah, we usually don't. That is the kicker. We usually don't ever remember the stories. But I guess we can kind of piggyback that this Halloweekend off with our 2022 summer. I mean, I guess we could make a whole like other podcast like talking about it, but a whole episode. But I feel like we can briefly touch on it now.
This is kind of the backstory of this summer sets up which we'll tell stories about this summer in a whole nother episode. Because, we got to remember them, and it's long. But this goes into my graduation night, which is another fun drunk story, and then we'll wrap this episode up. So, by this time, Elsa is no longer in the friend group. It's just us and Joe. And Joe has a separate friend that she's really just good friends with named Bella. This girl's name's Bella. So, I graduate college. We all didn't see it coming. You know what? That's weird. She just shook her head. This was a long time coming. I literally had to force my way into graduating.
I thought we were going to be an extra semester.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were going to do it. I just thought we would be graduating at the same time.
We all thought it was going to be an extra semester, but it wasn't, because I finessed my way in, and I will tell you the story about how I finessed my way in another episode, because honestly, F that shit, because it was kind of fucked up story about how I graduated, but we'll get into that in another episode over my trauma in life, my trauma episode, my trauma dump episode, which was going to be the name of this podcast, but then we decided not to name it Trauma Dumped. Anyway, so I graduate. This is a great day. The whole world, like,
I was late to her graduation, and I had to walk like 2 miles in my heels to get to her graduation. That's how much I love this girl. My feet were bleeding. This was a big deal.
Okay. Why this was a big deal was because I was homeschooled in high school, so I had never walked across the stage for graduation. But also, I had a hell of a time in college. I cried nightly. I cried weekly. It was traumatic.
Like most colleges.
It didn't go well for me. So the fact that we got here was a big deal. Like, I literally think my dad probably cried in the stands because he was like, thank God this is over. So we had to celebrate. So I had a little open house, which actually I've known that open houses aren't a thing in most states, which I didn't know. So if you don't know what an open house is, it's kind of just like a party that you have when you graduate high school or college. People basically give you money to set up for the next chapter. They're like, congratulations, you come, you celebrate. So I had an open house, and we started drinking there. We had champagne. Yes. And then we go out, and we start at Brothers, and I think I had 2 pitchers of a Long Island, which if you don't know what a Long Island is, a shit ton of alcohol in it. So good. My problem was that I mixed alcohols this night.
Well, we also, we had our friend Lexi there, too. And we were buying shots because we're celebrating. Yeah, everyone was buying Taylor shots. And I think that was the night, too, that guy bought you a shot. And we weren't, we didn't know that. And they brought both of us a shot. And they were like, I wasn't paying for your friend. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, I swear that was that night. And I was like, I'll pay for my shot. Oh, my gosh. I swear that was that night. It might not be. You can cut that out. I don't think it might not have been that night. But we're buying shots because we're celebrating whatnot. And I don't think I remember the rest of Brothers.
So it all goes down for hill for me. Brothers closes at 2. The rest of the bars close at 4. So we left Brothers at 2, and we went to the Chug, the hole in the wall. And Lexi, our friend Lexi, that we've talked about before, goes, Tay, you have to take a Rumplemints. I'm like, what is that?
We had never had this before.
Neither of us had ever had a Rumplemints before. Neither of us knew what a Rumplemints was. And Lexi's like, nah, Tay, you're not going to like it. Like, don't even try it. And I was like, no, it's my graduation night. I'm not going to be a whip. So she buys a shot for her, Aaron, and Lexi's no longer friend. Just going to tell him his name because honestly, it's fine. So she buys a shot for Aaron, herself, and Lexi's one of our old friends, Hunter. And I'm like, what the heck? You didn't buy me shot? Oh, and Brooke. Brooke was there too. We love Brooke. Shout out Brooke. She was like, nah, you're not going to like it. And I was like, no, it's my graduation night. Like, I don't care. Like, we're going all out. So she's like, fine. So we go.
That was also the night. Sorry to interrupt you, but that was also the night. This was during Christmas time, and they had the Grinch drink. They had the Grinch drink, and if any of you have been to the Chug and have drank this drink, I'm so sorry, because it was literally the worst thing I've ever. It was like a green drink. It looked so aesthetic, so cute. We were like, oh my god, we have to get that. And we asked this girl like what she got. She was like, oh, it's the Grinch. Like, it's the Grinch drink. And we were like, oh, sold. Let's be festive. Let's be cute. This was actual garbage. Like, it was so bad.
Literally, it tasted like swamp water from Shrek. Yeah. Like, it was so bad. Yeah, that's why it was green. So we start out with that, and little did all the shots that we had been taking were tequila, and this was made with vodka. So bad idea to start with. A Rumplemints, in case you don't know what a Rumplemints is 100 proof peppermint schnapps. Yum. Which I didn't think it was bad. So
we didn't think it was bad. That's why we took more.
So they call this I think they call it the hookup shot because you're like, it's like known that people take this shot like before they are like about to go home and sleep with somebody because it like literally like makes your breath smell good because it's just peppermint. So I take one of these shots and I'm like, oh, I mean, it burned a little bit. And which previous on my birthday, Lexi bought one of these shots for my friend Marissa, and she was sick of a sore throat for 3 weeks after she had this Rumplemint shot. But in my mind, that didn't click because at this point, I think I had 2 and you had 3. Yeah. Because I've been drunk, but at this point, I had never been blacked out before. So I take a Rumplemint. I'm like, oh, it's okay. And somebody was like, they didn't want their other one. I think it was Hunter. He was like, no, I don't want my other one. Tay, drink it. Like, this is my shot for you. Or maybe he bought me one. And so I took it, and seconds later, we're at this booth. I'm in the inside of the booth. Aaron's next to me. Lexi and Brooke are on the other side of the booth, and Bella and Joe walk in. And they're like, yeah, graduation! And I'm like, you're late. So they're talking to everybody. Everybody's like, yay, Joe and Bella are here, woohoo! I start the room. I can't hear anything. I lose my hearing. Everything is just like beep. And I start to sweat. And I look at Erin and I said, I need you to get out of the booth. She's like, what? And I'm like, I need you to get out of the booth. And Lexi immediately knows because like me and Lexi, we grew up as sick friends together. And so we know when each other's sick. Lexi looks at me and goes, Erin, go get her water. And so I'm sitting on the side of the booth. The whole entire room's spinning. I remember this blonde girl specifically, and I remember her hair turned black in my mind. And I was literally hallucinating. I've never been a part of this in my life. And if you know me, you know I hate being sick out in public. So Aaron's like, what? She doesn't need water. She's fine. Lexi is literally looking at Aaron like, death stare. Go get her water.
Okay. Let me just preface this.
Yeah, because you're about to sound real bad.
Yeah, I'm going to sound really, really bad. But I also had been drinking everything she was drinking, and
You were drunk.
I was drunk. And I was like, she's fine. Because I'm the type of girl that does not throw up. I don't get sick. I'm sick the next day, but I'm not. In the moment, I'm fine. And I was like, what? She's fine. She doesn't need water. Like, I can hear myself saying that right now. And I was like, she's fine. She doesn't need water. My mom, shout out Mama Dawn, because she yelled at me the next day. She was like, why would you not get her water?
So I don't think you went and got me water. I think Joe went and got me water because I think Joe saw it in my eyes and was like, okay, like I'll go get her water. Brings me back water and I'm like, no, I can't feel my body. And Lexi's like, okay, Erin, take one arm. Let's take her to the bathroom. And I'm like, no. I don't need you guys to carry me to the bathroom. I got it. I just need.
Literally how she sounded too. No. I don't need it. And I was like, girlfriend, we can't even talk.
I remember. I'm like, no. I can walk myself to the bathroom. I just need you guys to come with me and I need you to bring my water. I remember I stood up and I fell back down in the seat. And Lexi was like, oh shit. Because Lexi and Erin have both been blackout before, but I just don't let myself get to that point because I know I'm not going to like it. I'm going to feel uncomfortable. I'm going to be sick.
Preference. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I used to do it. I don't do it anymore. And I know it's bad for you. So nobody yell at me and say that it's bad for me. But I'm also 110 pounds. Right. I'm little and I don't know my limit. So leave me alone. Right. Thanks. And I get free drinks all the time. So leave me alone.
So Lexi goes into mom mode because like she knows what I feel like when I'm sick because we have a lot of the same things. And she's like, okay, Tay, like we just got to get you to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay. So I think my sister wasn't there. And Erin's like, I'm going to get another drink. And I'm like, what the fuck? So Lexi and Joe take me to the bathroom and they put me on the toilet. And
like we said earlier, the chug, you can see over it and you can see under it.
Yes. So everybody can see what's happening. And I'm the type of this is TMI, but I'm the type of person when I get sick, it's coming out both ends. So I go to the bathroom and I sit on the toilet. And when we've told you the bathroom at the chug is disgusting, like you can get STDs. You don't sit on the toilet, you hover. No, I sit my ass down on the toilet. And there's a trash can next to me and I put it on my lap. There's for the things that are probably on this trash can are so bad. I put it on my lap and Joe is like, okay, I'm going to go get her water, and I'm going to go get Erin. She shouldn't have got Erin. This is where Erin's about to sound so bad, but it's really okay because she was drunk, and I get it. So Joe and Erin come back. Joe's giving me water while I'm on the toilet, hovering over this dirty-ass trash can. And Erin looks at me, and she goes, what's wrong? And I said, I can't even hear you, Rennie. I can't even hear you. I need to go home. Can you call Erin? And she's like, no, bitch, puke and rally. I swear to God, I don't think I've ever in my life given somebody a dirtier lick. This is literally the saying of our friendship is puke and rally because I was livid. I literally think steam came out of my ears. I said, no, I'm going home, you fucking whore. And she goes, ugh, she's such a loser. Why can't she just puke and rally? And walks out of the bathroom.
I think that was my most iconic thing I've ever said in my life. And I didn't know this until she told me it the next day. And I was like, ooh, I'm so sorry. I was so apologetic the next day. And I was really sad that I did that to her. And Mom was so mad at me.
You were mad that I left.
And I was mad that she left because it was her night and I wanted to celebrate with her. But we were past the point of celebrating. And she really needed to go home. Yeah. I think all of us needed to go home. But we didn't.
It was so bad.
It was so bad. And it's a funny story that we tell now. But imagining how dirty
oh my God.
that was in there, that she threw up in the trash can as it was sitting on her lap while she was sitting down on the toilet in the truck. Dirty.
Bad.
It's so bad.
So bad.
So bad. So we make jokes all the time that we're going to take a shot of Rumple and puke and rally. So
you leave the bathroom. Well, at first, you just kept looking at Lexi and you're like, tell her she just needs to puke and rally. Like, I want another Rumple Mints. And I literally barfed at the thought of a Rumple Mints. And Lexi's like, no, I'm going to take her home. I'll be back. And so Erin's pissed. She walks out of the bar. When I leave, she's bitching to Joe and that I'm fucking leaving. And I'm like, you know what? I'll deal with her tomorrow. So Lexi drives me home. Thank God. I'm in the car with the windows down, my head out the window door, and I'm like, Lexi, I'm spinning. Lexi, am I okay? Am I gonna die? She's like, Tay, you're not gonna die. I'm gonna take you home. I'm gonna take off your makeup and we're gonna get you in bed. So we get home. I sit on the toilet immediately once I get home and take all my clothes off. And I'm sitting on the toilet naked. She's like, here, you just have to take it off. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. And she's like, I know, but like, you're going to thank me tomorrow. Like, take your makeup off. So I take my makeup off. She leaves. She goes back to the bar. I woke up so many times that night literally thinking I was going to die because I've never felt that way in my life. I went to my mom's house at 8 a.m. in the morning and she was like, why are you here? And I was like, Mommy, I think I'm going to die. And she was like, what? And I said, Lexi says I had my first blackout, but I actually think I'm dying. I need to go to the hospital. She goes, oh, why don't you go lay down in my bed?
I was very apologetic the next day, and Mom was like, why would you yell at her as she was getting sick?
Mom made you call me.
I know. Well, because I didn't know this until Joe had told me, because Joe had stayed with me, and she was like, she was not fine last night, because I don't know what I thought, but I was like, oh, we had such a great time last night. I was like, it was so good. We celebrated her. And Joe was like, girl, she was throwing up in the chug bathroom. And I was like, no, we had a good time. And she was like, no, like she was sick. And I was like, oh, goodness. And I was like, I got to call her. And she was like, are you mad at me? I was like, girlfriend, I don't even know what happened. This also makes me sound really, really bad. So I don't do that anymore. In college, it's what you do. You go out and you drink, and sometimes you don't remember. I know it's not good, and we don't do it now. We're very responsible now. Yeah. We have, like we said on Halloweekend, we had one drink and one shot. Like I said before, if you meet a man in the bar, do not trust him. He's not your friend. He doesn't want to date you. We're telling you stories, but our advice to the pod is don't date men who come up to you in the bar.
If you meet a man in the bar, they only have one intention, and we all know what that intention is going to be. And girly, like, if that's the intention you want to have for that night, that's fine, but you're not going to marry this man. And I still have to tell Aaron this sometimes. But anyway, if you want to hear more stories about our Buzzball summer, let us know, because there was a lot of nights where people ended up on the floor of my porch. There was a lot of nights where I don't know where Aaron ended up. I really don't know how you got home. Sometimes I always made sure you were home. But sometimes I don't know how you got there.
I have my, this is going to sound awful. I call my grandma.
I remember that.
This is going to suck. Shout out to Grandma Carol. She always picks me up. That's how I get home, is my grandma. She's my icon. And she'll always be like, are you okay? Can you walk? I'm like, yes, Grandma, I'm fine. But she did it with my brothers before me, so she kind of knows the story about it now. But yeah, that was our intense summer, and that was our Halloweekend. We kind of just wanted to share what happened this weekend and kind of our growth. That's how you're going to feel once you graduate college.
Which I think we did show our growth, because of December of last year versus it's November now. I mean, maybe one day if something happens, we celebrate something. Like, it's okay to have a blackout every now and again. But the thing is that summer we were having it every weekend. And look at us now. We had one drink, 2 shots on Halloweekend. We had such a good time. We came here to tell you such good stories. And a year ago, Erin doesn't remember what happened on my graduation night. And she only does because we told her.
Okay, wait, one more story. Just a quick story time. It's a quick story. So this one night was standing there, and this was Joe's friend, actually. Yeah. And he was buying me drinks all night. He wasn't, I guess, I wasn't interested, but he was, that makes me sound awful. But he was buying me us drinks all night. But we were at the Chug, and how our nights always end.
I think you guys were playing pool.
Yeah, and we were playing pool, and then he said, I'll buy you another drink if you can tell me my name. My face drops instantly. I'm like, I don't remember this man's name. I don't know it at all. And this podcast just makes me sound awful. But we joke of this man's We joke about it all the time because it was such a humbling moment for me. This man literally goes, "You can't tell me my name." And you don't know what I said? I said a random name that came to my mind. What did I say? Colin?
Let me preface, this man's name was Dylan, I think. She goes, buy me another drink, Colin. I immediately, because I knew this man's name, okay, because I was having a bad night. I think
I said, "We gotta go home."
I think something happened at the beginning of the night. I saw someone or something, and I was having that was that night. I was having a bad night. And so I was just like, I wanted to go home. So I was pretty sober. I remember this man's name. She goes, buy me another drink, Colin. I said, Aaron. She said, what? He goes,
No, I knew it. As soon as it came
yeah.
out, I knew it.
She knew what it like. She looked at me and she was like, oh no. He looks at me. He goes, she doesn't know my name. Why did she call me? And I said, no. She said it was Dylan. She goes, Aaron goes, yeah. Dylan. Like, go give me another drink, Dylan. Oh my God.
That sobered me up real quick. I was like, we have to leave. Yeah, like I was so embarrassed. I was like, we need to leave. Not that I was interested in this man at all, but I was like, I just got humbled so quick. Like, we need to leave. And like, we talk about it all the time. Don't learn from me. We shouldn't have this podcast. No one should ever take advice from me.
Yes.
But yeah, we're going to stop it there because we kind of rambled on. But
anyway, thanks for coming back to Teens in Our 20s. This was our Halloweekend and
this was our Halloween themed episode.
our Halloween themed spooky episodes. It's Christmas time now, bitches.
Spooky weekend.
It's spooky wookie. We both go hard for Christmas, so I don't know, expect a music video or something. I hope you enjoyed this one. Maybe we'll do a book review next one, because we said we kind of want to do that once a month. It might not be once a month because it's hard for us to get together, and now she's moving an hour and a half away from me, but we're gonna make it work. So thanks for coming back to Teens in Our 20s. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, like, share, whatever you do with podcasts. Follow us on all our social medias. We love you. We love being your big sisters, and so many people had good responses to the first episode, which just made both of our hearts really warm. So we hope you continue to listen, and if you have any critiques or anything, nice critiques, let us know. Don't be mean. Keep reaching out. Keep telling us if you love the pod or not, whether we talk to you on the normal or not, or we don't even know who you are, because it makes our heart warm. Anyway, okay. Bye. Love you. Bye.